Hey guys, what is up? Frosty here. So I know the Moyu Aochaung GTSM has been out on the market for quite some time now, probably around 1 or 2 years, but I still think this is a viable 5x5 option for anyone that is serious about the event. So, starting off with the specs, this is a $40 cube, so it's not at all cheap. It is a 63mm sized cube, and it weighs 153 grams. So the stuff that comes within the box, it has your usual Moyu screwdriver, which you have too many of, some pamphlets with people on them, which I have too many of, cube solution guide, which I have too many of, and then you have some magnets. So you have 3 thin ones, which is for the outer layers, and 3 thick ones for the inner layers. Too many ups, I don't care about that. Although I probably just dropped that magnet set into like the little gap between the wall and my desk. I might need to fish that out afterwards, but that's okay. We'll move on for now. So, out of the box, you will immediately see how rounded off the edges are. Like, this side goes to like off the edge. It goes into the next surface very, very smoothly. And then also on the centerpiece themselves, the edges of the centerpiece actually goes into the inners of the cube in a really, really smooth fashion. And it gives this cube a really satisfying and bubbly look. In contrast to something like the Yushin Magic 5x5, you see that the surface of the cube is actually kind of flat, and then on the edges is kind of sharp. So I'll quickly do a comparison side by side. So just take a look at that. It's kind of, so you see how this one is kind of flat and this one is a little more bubbly. Okay. Anyways, so talking about the shades do have a really, really solid color to them, except for the green and orange, which is kind of less saturated than the colors on this one, but doesn't really matter to me as long as I can tell the difference, which this cube allows me to do so. Okay, so let's quickly talk about out of the box, because do need to break this cube in. When you do your first turn, it will feel quite sandy and a little bit slow, but that's completely fine, okay? Because all you need to do is do some algorithms on this, on like every face of the outer layer and then on the inner layers to break that in, and then you will have yourself a very, very fast and smooth cube. After setup, this cube becomes a very, very smooth and stable cube. As you can see here, it does sound a little crunchy also. And the M slices on this cube actually stay together very, very well also, which I am really, really happy to say. Another good thing to know about this cube is that it's actually also very stable, which means it does not flex a lot during solves, and then you'll feel the pieces are like in place, and then you have complete control of the cube. That's how good this cube is. Corner cutting, I'm not sure what's the standard for 5x5 corner cutting, because I don't actually do 5x5 all that much. But on this cube, it can do 1 QB on the 3x3 layers. And then on the inner layers, is also 1 QB. The centers, you can actually get like 1 piece out of this thing. But you probably shouldn't be doing corner cuts on the inner layers at all anyways. So out of the box, the tensions of this cube is already in the Goldilocks zone, which means is that it's already in a state where it remains fast enough, but also stable enough for it to suit a lot of cubers. Okay, so another thing about this cube that is really noteworthy is that I have never once gotten any cube malfunctions with the Moyu Aochaung GTSM. I've never had any corner twists. I've never had anything pop out on me. I've never even gotten any single lockup. It's literally impossible. So let me just quickly do an example. So on this Yushin Magic 5x5, if I were to misalign the centers like that and then do an R, I would end up with a lockup, which it is pretty easy to fix, but when it does happen, it's kind of annoying. This one, however, if I misalign the centers and try to do the same thing, it's literally impossible to get it to lock up. And this is what I really do applaud for the design of this cube. Okay, with all the good points aside, I do have one single complaint about the cube itself. It's not about the performance. The performance is literally perfect for me. It's about the hardware. And especially the center caps, because they're literally impractical to remove without taking the cube apart. So on something like this 5x5 here, you have these center caps. They're literally a piece like this. You can take it out while the cube is still assembled. This cube, however, there's no way to take it off without actually taking the individual pieces apart. And let me show you what I mean by that. So you notice how this center cap is actually sort of like a sideways H shape like this. It's sort of like forms an H shape when you look at it like this. And then you have the centerpiece is actually hooked on to the middle parts of that H in the centerpiece. So when you try to actually take out the center caps, the edge centers would actually keep it down and keep it tight like that. So the only way to actually remove the center caps is if you take apart all the stuff that's holding the center caps in place, then you take out the center cap. And even then, it's still hard. I've never tried this. This is my first time trying this right now, and I still cannot get the center caps off. Please send help. Oh, there we go. That was the first time I've taken the center caps off on this thing. But that's literally my only complaint about this cube. Everything about the cube itself is already really pretty much perfect. Alright, so that's pretty much everything I have to say about this cube. So if you do like the video, please do leave a like and leave a comment and let me know what you think about the video. And maybe please consider subscribing if you would like. The self-promotional stuff is out of the way. Oh gosh, self-promotional stuff.